Take two graduates. One ends up in a high-stress job making $5,000 a month with a mountain of student debt. The other generates $15,000 a month with complete location freedom by applying their innate cognitive wiring to a specific market need. Traditional education mandates that you spend hundreds of hours agonizing over subjects you hate. If you're bad at math, you get extra math lessons, grinding away at your natural weaknesses just to reach a baseline of average competency. This chart shows the return on investment for that effort. The red bar represents the traditional path of fixing weaknesses, where massive effort yields a tiny incremental gain in performance. This system effectively trains natural talent out of the population. While 98% of 5-year-olds score at genius levels for divergent thinking, that number drops to just 2% by adulthood. The green bar shows the alternative. When you focus exclusively on natural advantages, moderate effort creates an aggressively compounding performance gain that outpaces generalized skill building. If you are struggling to hit $10,000 a month with generic side hustles, the issue is likely a lack of alignment. High-level success requires moving past trending business models to weaponize your innate cognitive wiring instead. A digital architect is a professional who exclusively builds and offers B2B digital services that mirror their natural cognitive profile. Choosing this path requires a specific trade-off. Reaching income and operational freedom means walking away from the safety net of institutional credentials and relying entirely on ruthless self-awareness. To reach these higher income thresholds, you have to identify exactly where you sit on the talent tree before you attempt to learn or sell a service. The talent tree acts as a diagnostic tool. It categorizes cognitive advantages to help you filter out the noise of dozens of different trending business models. Human operational capability is measured across two main axes: a preference for structured versus fluid environments, and analytical versus interpersonal problem solving. These axes create four distinct archetypes: the organizer, the analyst, the communicator, and the creative. Every individual inherently falls into at least one of these quadrants. Forcing a business model that sits outside your quadrant leads to burnout and a hard revenue plateau. The organizer profile requires inputs like building logical systems, managing timelines, and bringing order to chaotic client environments. Organizers deliver high client retention through operations-heavy services, such as funnel creation and project management. However, organizers struggle to operate in highly ambiguous, blank canvas creative roles that lack rigid instructions. The analyst profile functions by breaking down business data, spotting operational inefficiencies, and testing variables. Because they can mathematically prove ROI, analysts excel in high-ticket AI automation and data-driven marketing optimization. The analyst's major trade-off is a propensity for analysis paralysis. They often delay their launch because they feel they always need more data before they are ready. Structured profiles dominate at optimization and client retention, but they will fail if they force themselves to generate fully original ideas or wait for perfect information. The communicator thrives on pitching, networking, and operating in interpersonal, unscripted live call environments. They generate rapid sales pipelines and immediate revenue impact, making them ideal for deal-making and sponsorships. A communicator's major challenge is back-end fulfillment. They require strict software systems or operations partners to actually deliver the work they sell. The creative profile requires dots to be connected across disparate fields, visual thinking, and out-of-the-box narrative concepts. Creatives drastically elevate a company's perceived market value through services like brand identity and high-end video editing. A creative's historical resistance to standardizing workflows creates a low income ceiling. Without automated tasks, they spend too many hours on repetitive manual work. Fluid profiles possess an unmatched capability to generate value and attention, but they strictly cap their income if they refuse to implement rigid back-end administration. Mapping your talent profile is just the diagnostic phase. The actual transition to high income requires moving from theory into a specific execution cycle. Buying more courses or tweaking an offer in private prevents the very skill development you're trying to achieve. This learning before earning mindset creates a loop of preparation with no result. Monetization requires forcing yourself into a real-world feedback loop. You do this by aggressively selling a stripped-down, imperfect version of your service immediately. Market pressure and paying clients drive rapid, practical skill acquisition. Theoretical, risk-free tutorials cannot replicate the learning that happens when you are responsible for a result. This path involves a massive volume of initial rejection. You have to deliver scrappy work just to find the single yes that begins the actual loop of improvement. Operating under the financial pressure of a client reveals your true operational bottlenecks and forces you to fix them. Raw talent and hard work can only take you to an initial revenue ceiling. Scaling past $10,000 a month is determined by your positioning. This scorecard illustrates the gap. A freelancer uses feature-based positioning, selling a specific action like "I edit videos." This commoditizes the service, forcing you to compete on price against thousands of others. A digital architect uses outcome-based positioning. They sell a high-value business result, such as "I increase audience retention" or "I reduce administrative costs." This shifts the conversation from a cost to an investment. Casey Neistat's historic media acquisition is a prime example of this concept. The value in that deal came from his personal brand and authority, rather than any raw technical skill. In this $25 million deal, CNN prioritized the branded authority and audience trust Casey built over any specific technical infrastructure. Sustainable wealth generation requires isolating one natural talent, packaging it as a measurable financial outcome, and ruthlessly pitching that specific solution to the market.